All right, so we need to talk about backgrounds. Backgrounds can go on the whole page, they can go on part of the page, whatever you want. So what we are going to try today is to work with some gradients, some pictures, and some layering to make sure that everything looks good behind the scenes. So what I have right here is a website, and I left a link for it, and it's cssgradient.io. You can go ahead and I can refresh this or whatever. Don't know if there's a random one, but you can basically pick different things here. These are radial gradients. There are linear gradients that go from one color to a totally another color, etc. And then they actually give you the CSS down here. So if I copy this to a clipboard, I can actually come over and move this out of the way for myself and go ahead and put this in. Shift home. Now we stick these, let me get this out of the way so you can see. We stick this on a background tag, and background is just a shortcut for everything that has to deal with background. There's a background repeat, there's a background attachment, there's a background image, etc. And that's basically what we're going to do. So let me hit save here, and let me show you exactly what we are looking at. So we come over here, and I'll just come in here. So this basically just put that background on the body of my HTML right here, just like that. All right, so that's where this is. The background right here is in case this background can't load. They always stick an extra background there at the top. Now I did add a height of 100%, a margin of 0 because I don't need a margin, and these are the new ones, some new information. The first one is background repeat. If you see things with a repeating pattern, and you need it tile, like the tile on a floor, then you can repeat those. And there's different things that you can repeat. Let me jump in here. So you have a repeat, or you can repeat just on the x-axis, or repeat on the y-axis, or don't repeat, or repeat, which is x and y. So we don't need to repeat this. And that will go ahead and do that. The next one is background attachment. What do you want this background to do? And there's really two. There's either fixed or scroll. Do you want it to scroll when the person scrolls down the page, or just leave it fixed? And for right now, I'm just leaving that fixed. So that is how you can create a gradient in CSS for a background. Now there are other things that we can do here. Let me bring up this right here. We're going to basically use images now behind the scenes to format this div statement I have right here. It's just an empty div statement. There's nothing here. And let me get the CSS up here. So there's just an empty div statement. I have a couple of images, and I want to kind of run through this. First off, you have to have a width and a height on these so it can actually go ahead and position these things properly. However, I have a background image. Now, what the heck is this? All right, so this is one of the part of the things I'm trying to go over right now. Let's put this in here together. So this is, let me show you actually the final product here on what we are doing. So this is a background image of two images layered on top of one another. You have a cityscape and some paper background. So let's see what we did to get there. All right. So I'm going to erase this so you guys can see this happen. So the first image you want to go ahead and put is the one that is closest to you. This is going to be viewable. And you do that by typing background image and then URL. Now this URL is relative to the position of where this file is. This file is in the CSS directory. So we have to go up a directory to get to the images folder where all of these are. So from here we hit dot dot, that brings it up a directory into card 1. See, when I hit slash, it shows everything in card 1. Just like this. Let me do this. So it sees all of that. Now I can come in here and type in images, right? Slash, and I am able to access this right here. Now you can go ahead and hit comma and do the same thing. So if I type in another URL, I hit dot dot slash images paper and hit semicolon. All right, so that basically put two things here. You can keep going on and on and on to do this. Now the second one on line 5 right here is our background position. Where do we want to position this? Do you want to position it on the top, the center, the bottom? Wherever that is, that's what this is. So I want to position this first image, and each one of these, you'll notice there's a comma in all these. So the first one, and this is where that pop-up is, it goes against me, is all about the cityscape. Okay? So if I basically did something like this, it might help out a little bit. Okay? So all of this is for the cityscape. I wanted this to be on the center of the bottom, which is width of 100 and height of 400 pixels. I don't want it to repeat. And I want this background size, and this is how you can size your images. I want it 1,000 pixels wide and automatic for a height, so I don't distort it. So when I hit save, that will go ahead and start that process. So let me get this back up. Okay, so the next one right here is the paper. I want this to start at the left and top, and I want it to repeat. So you can't really see a repeat here until there's the repeat right there. And if I maximize it, I don't think you'll actually see the repeat X and the X or the Y way. But that's basically an X repeat right here. See how it kind of does that? And then the background size is an automatic. I don't care. It'll automatically do that. And that is how you can layer images very easily inside of CSS.